Hi, Tim here, checking out this week's main stories from Phuket-go.com. This is a weekly review of some of the main stories around Phuket and the region. A major story from Krabi this week after 3 students died and the motorcycle they were travelling on was set on fire after a shooting in the Krabi district of Khao Phanom early on Tuesday morning. Other drivers saw the motorcycle burning and stopped to check when they found the 3 dead students laying on the roadside verge. The dead were all 18-year-old students from the same class at a local high school. The young man was shot in the face, the 2 females in the back. Police believe the motorbike was involved in some sort of collision with a black BMW sedan driven by 42-year-old Tesseract Boonrong. A piece of the front bumper from his car was also found at the scene. Police eventually tracked his car back to a shop house and after a 5-hour standoff, arrested the man. Later, the 42-year-old attacked another man in jail and was moved to a cell on his own. He has admitted to shooting and killing the 3 18-year-old students, and his family have told police about his drug use and past violence. It was all a misunderstanding. Police have decided that the argument between taxi drivers at Rassada Pier in Phuket town last Friday was the fault of both sides. 4 tourists were forced to get out of a van to use another transport service after a heated exchange between the drivers. The 45-year-old van driver, according to adjudicating police, had every right to pick up the tourist at the pier. He'd been booked via a ride-hailing app. On the other hand, police say the 37-year-old driver who prevented the van from leaving with its passengers was also within his rights. Whilst the concession to serve the Rassada Pier gave them the rights to service arriving passengers, they also had the right to book a service via a ride-hailing app. Now, the same situation exists at the Phuket airport, where companies make payments to the airport for a perceived exclusivity. But ride-hailing apps can still be used, although in that case the passengers have to take the 2-minute walk to the main road to catch their ride. Meanwhile, police say there could still be legal action taken against the van driver for accusing the Rassada VIP driver for being a mafia. Thai officials found more Rohingya on a small island off the southern province of Satun in the Andaman Sea south of Phuket after Thai fishermen rescued 10 people floating in rough seas off the coast on Thursday morning. Another 41 Rohingya were then found on the island nearby. The Rohingya are fleeing from Myanmar's Rakhine state after years of turmoil and violence directed at them from the Burmese army and Buddhist factions. Officials reported that the 10 Rohingya included families and children, were undernourished and dehydrated. Officials estimate they could have been at sea for over a week, probably trying to reach Malaysia or Indonesia in search of work. A bad week for budget airline Jetstar and more than 4,000 passengers that have been trying to get both out of Australia and take their flights back. Jetstar's problems have engulfed passengers to and from Bali, Phuket, Bangkok and Japan, as cancelled and postponed flights have become commonplace across its Asian Boeing 787 fleet for the past few weeks. Jetstar, the discount offshoot of Qantas, is blaming a perfect storm of events, including a lightning and bird strike and supply chain issues for spare parts for its Boeing 787s. Half of the airline's long-haul fleet had been out of service and customer service lines were busy as stranded passengers tried to reschedule their flights. Speaking of airlines, the number of international flights to Phuket is on the increase, following Vietnam Airlines' inaugural direct flight from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietjet's new direct flights, and the return of Firefly flights from Penang late last month. Other carriers reintroducing services to Phuket this month include Batik Air, flying from KL. The carrier was formerly known as Malindo Air, a Malaysian-based low-cost airline. The big Middle Eastern airlines also continue to serve Phuket with Emirates, Etihad and Qatar, all operating direct flights from Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Doha respectively. The routes are popular with tourists connecting from European countries. Meanwhile, Singapore Airlines is increasing its direct flights to Phuket, offering 3 services a day from this month. The island is also regularly served by Air Asia, Thai Air Asia, Thai Vietjet, Jetstar Asia, Scoot, Indigo, Air Astana and Malaysian Airlines. And a Phuket grocery store in Rassada, east of Phuket town, was destroyed after a fire broke out, alarming nearby residents. No injuries were reported in the blaze. The blaze broke out last Sunday evening with firefighters alerted at around 7:40 p.m. A total of 5 fire engines arrived at the scene to find the shop already well alight. It's believed the fire was started by an electrical short circuit. Well, that's our quick wrap-up of news from around Phuket. To get all the latest news about Phuket and great places to go, you can go to phuket-go.com. In the meantime, thanks for joining us.